Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for the 26th of July. All right, as we move into Thursday's trading, you'll notice most of the major currency pairs are a little bit higher, suggesting that this move is definitely a US dollar move. Dollar CAD even a little bit lower, dollar yen dribbling, but pretty much sideways. So we can see the US dollars coming off. We've seen a slight, if anything, it's just a minor break of some resistance trend lines. The US dollar has been dominating things of late, so none of the majors really want to go on with it. That means, if it was an Aussie, Kiwi, Euro or Sterling event, it would have run much further. This is a weak dollar scenario. And what you can do is really come back. What you should be doing is come back and actually isolate what is causing all the trouble. Now, if you've actually read anything this morning, you'll see that the Donald has been at it again. He has pledged a deal to cut trade barriers with the EU and not to escalate, all the tariffs on various industries over in Europe. So what he's done is, to me, he's really secured a strong relationship, a strong ally in global trade, and that really aims his target, as you can see down the bottom here, on China. Now, China have been working very closely with Europe or trying to get Europe on side to come back and counter Trump's US trade tariffs. Now that is going to be off the table. They will, I'd say one of the deals that Trump has done with Juncker is basically, we'll do a deal with you guys and don't do anything with the Chinese. Okay, he's really sharpening his barbs here for China. Now the rest of the news, a little bit sporadic. Yeah, sterling's a little bit higher on positive move of Brexit talks. I wouldn't worry about that. It's more, this is a dollar move. And Canada post 6-week high boosted by trade optimism. Give me a break. I mean, that's nothing, no big deal. So you come back to the just come back to the major currency pairs for the moment. Okay, as I said, what you need to do is follow the action as such. Now, one of the key things, actually, if I just bring you back across to where the action really equates to, you can see the US dollar here, and I've also got dollar China. So the US dollar working into sort of Trump's plan here, a little bit lower, down through 94.40. It's not a sort of serious move at this stage. And don't forget, we are leading into the two key pieces of, or two or three, I should say, two key pieces of US data and one major piece of European data, which is the ECB meeting. So Euro a little bit lower, and that's the cause for that move in the majors across the board. Now, you look at dollar China. Now, this has been the raw nerve in the market. We have seen it break down here at the moment, and it's just coming up to test the level now. I would suggest if this breaks lower, the majors will continue to go higher, right? A bit of dollar weakness. We should see the majors kicking to the top side, and that's almost what we're seeing just at the moment is you can see the majors that they're sitting there. They want to go, but they're just looking for that catalyst. Now, I've been watching a lot of the Tour de France. I feel like I'm calling the Tour at the moment, but I could see these things having a bit of a spike higher if dollar China does break down through 674.5 there, which it's really sort of close to. Now, that aside, so watch China during the Asian session. It is starting to gain some momentum here. What you need to be doing also is just trying to match up where the next major activity is for the market, right? And what we're talking about is what's the next major event? Well, there's nothing really major coming out anywhere except for the EU. Now, this is probably the biggest announcement in Europe. It's the ECB meeting where they can give us some forward guidance on future rate hikes, which is, I think they said they're going to keep rates on hold until the end of summer 2019. So there's no rate change. But what they may do is they may give us some indication of quantitative easing measures that they're going to start withdrawing. I think, and now this EU deal is done, it takes a bit of pressure off the ECB trying to guess what the impact of trade tariffs is going to do. So that's a good thing. Okay, so the ECB, less to worry about. Now, what they may do is give us some targets as to specific withdrawal of easing. If they do that, well then, we can really see Euro pop to the top side. If it's neutral to negative, like we're going to have to wait longer, then you see the Euro come off. All right, then following, or actually at the same time as the press conference, the US durable goods, okay, a really good historical number, and that leaves us with Friday's US advanced GDP numbers there as well. Now, we've got good, clear correlating markets. You shouldn't be afraid to get involved. Keep an eye, as I said, on dollar China. That is the key at the moment. And we've got actually, we're just looking at the timepiece there. We've got 11 hours, almost 12 hours until the ECB interest rate decision. So that's a lot of time to sort of think about what's going on. I would suggest if we just come back here, you can see this is about to go. I need to get this video done so I can actually start to get into this myself, is just keep an eye on this last level of dollar China, right? It comes in around 6.7470. It's not far below. If they do get a push there, I think you'll see a lot of traders who are long dollar China sort of bail. This is a pretty key level, and that should see the majors rally, particularly in that Europe Asian session, ahead of the EU. All right. So as we come into the European session, obviously Euro and the Euro crosses are going to be the main game. Just keep an eye on your longer term levels here, like hourlies. You can see here where the activity is. There's a lot of room here. If the ECB came out with something really positive, there's a lot of room for it to sort of rally, almost a couple hundred points, up to 119, sort of 30, 40. I mean, it's a big ask, but if it breaks these highs over here around 117.5, it's got plenty of room to run to the top side. Market will be sitting short Euro at this point. All right. That's pretty much it from me, guys. As I said, it's a pretty quiet day on the data front. What you need to be doing is just relaxing, saving your cash, look for the opportunity. The opportunity in Asia is watching the offshore yuan, the dollar yuan, and that's where I think you want to be paying your attention. And then as it comes into that European session, as you can see here on the calendar, you've got the ECB refinancing. I wouldn't think we're going to see too much out of Euro on the German numbers beforehand, unless they are completely radical. And I can tell the German numbers are usually very resilient. So the ECB, the main action, the sideshow will be the US durable goods. All right. And that should give us plenty to think about with the dollar. And it's a pretty good thing that Trump's actually done a deal with the EU, because that takes a lot of the question marks over global growth and all this crap that's been coming out. So just bear that in mind. It's pretty good conditions. We've got trend lines all over the place. Get stuck in. That's all I can say. All right, guys, have a good trade day. We'll see you in the trade zone. All the very best.